Okay. Hopefully this time my sound is working. This is the second try because the Bucky girl told me the sound wasn't working. So here we are again, and let's see if it works this time. Hello, whoever you are that's watching, I see you there. That's good. Thanks. Thanks for being so patient. Yeah, we've been, I don't know about the rest of the country, but where I'm at, it's like we had a really big downpour yesterday, and then it's been raining, for, well, the last 3, 4 days in a row, and then we were without power for a day and a half. Hello there, Bucky Girl One. Thanks for helping me get the sound going. I appreciate that. We're we're back down in the about 70 to 80 degree range right now. Where are you from, Bucky Girl? I'm in Michigan, in the United States, of course. Oh, Ohio. I've been to Ohio. Went to Cedar Point down there a couple of times, and then I went to it um, on my way down to Texas too a few years ago. Oh, quite a few years ago, back in the '80s. Can you hold on for a minute? I'll be right back. I gotta go get me something to drink. I am back now. Sorry about that. Oh, Bucky girl, have you been on my channel before? Just Pepsi. Oh, I just noticed that. Having Pepsi in a Coke glass. Oh, well. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, well, I hope you enjoy yourself here and that you'll think about subscribing. I'm hoping some of the normals will be, coming in, but nobody knew I was doing a live chat, so I just decided to pop on here and try to talk with people a little bit because I haven't been on for a while. Yeah, you can check out some of my other videos. I got a, a mix of all kinds of stuff, dating back to, well, altogether I've been doing it about 9 years, but not as pushing it like I do now. But I started it mainly for a place to leave some memories behind for my kids, preserve them for posterity, and to make friends. I sure have made a lot of friends on YouTube. Do you have a channel yourself, or are you just cruising? Yeah, you might find something you like in there, Bucky girl. I'm not a really exciting person. And it's just, you know, just a hobby. Yeah, I do that myself because sometimes the stuff that's on TV anymore just, I don't know, just ain't worth watching. Put it that way. So how did you find me, Bucky girl? Did something pop up or something when I started it? Oh, we have another person in. Hello, whoever you are. Hello, Susan. Nice to see you on here. Appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing. And of course, smash the like button. So, where you at, Susan? Um, Bucky Girls in Ohio, and I'm in Michigan. Oh, okay. Well, that part's working then. Ooh, all the way from Canada. I love Canada. It's beautiful up there. I've been there twice. Yeah, once when I was little, and once a little bit older. Well, we were there. the year after I got married, in which would have been '86. That's neat that the notification thing worked. I didn't, I wasn't sure about that. If it notified only people that were subscribed or if it notified everybody. That's nice to know. So, Susan, what are some of the things you like to do? Also, you, Bucky girl, hobbies and stuff, or you know, kind of things we do to pass our time. How's the weather up there in Canada? Gardening? Yeah, I do some of that myself. Well, the kind of dirt I have here is pretty much sand, so I have to grow a lot of my stuff in containers. But I got some tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes. They're about 4 foot high right now. I started those from seed. Yeah, you must be getting, Susan, the weather that we had last week because, well, it was hot yesterday too. It was about 90, but today it's down in the, well, I'd say maybe 82, if that. It's supposed to be kind of mild all week, but for the last few days before that, we had rain, and yesterday we had a really hard downpour. Oh, you like gardening and canning, cooking? So do I. I can whatever I can get my hands on. Or should I say, till my jar supply goes away on me, I run out and can't get more. I use salad dressing jars, um, spaghetti sauce jars, as long as they'll fit a canning lid. I use them. I don't use the boiling water bath anymore. I have one, but I don't use it. I do everything in the pressure cooker. My tomatoes and everything. Anything you do in boiling water bath, you can do in a pressure cooker, and it's a lot more sanitary. It's like if you can your tomatoes and you do them for like a half an hour, do them for 15 minutes in a pressure cooker because they get so much hotter. I've never had a jar spoil, never. And about 30 years of doing it, I used to do my pickles and everything else in a boiling water bath, and that just took forever. And when my kids started coming along, I said, there's got to be an easier way because I was canning. My wife's uncle had a really huge garden, and he was bringing me bushel baskets of beans and beets and all kinds of stuff. And I canned everything peaches, you name it, I did it all. Fish, venison, beef, all that stuff. Blueberries, you name it. Just about everything I can think of, I've done. Some of the stuff is actually cheaper to get it in the store, but That stuff they sell you in the store, you don't know what's in it. I used to can my own carrots and stuff for my kids when I were little and make my own baby food because I knew it was carrots and water and that was it. I didn't put salt in it or nothing. You don't need to. It just makes canning more expensive doing all the extra stuff. Unless it's, unless you're pickling or something like that and you want the pickles, which I love kosher dills. Oh my goodness. This year in my garden, I actually got to plant some dill. So I can't wait. I got watermelons growing. I got the beefsteak tomatoes. Let's see now. Let's put in up there. Watermelons, beefsteak tomatoes. Um, I'm drawing a blank. The dill. I think that's about all I got in my garden right now. Oh, cucumbers I have because I want to pickle those. Well, we'll eat some of them fresh, like in salads and stuff, and then I want to can some of them. I usually have green beans and stuff like that, but this year's been a tight year, so I couldn't get the seeds. So plant what I got. But next year, I got some seeds for that. Well, we purchased one, and I keep the seeds out of anything like that. And I purchased one of those bliss melons. They're a honeydew melon, but they're yellow on the outside instead of green. Or, well, not green on the outside. They're, bumpy and greenish colored, greenish grayish colored than normal honeydews. But these are smooth with yellow skin, and they're pretty good. They're not better than the regular ones, I don't think, but I'm going to try to grow them because I'm thinking maybe we would people that garden at home they leave their stuff in the garden until it's ripe, and that stuff you buy in the store they pick it so early that it's not very tasty. I don't like to buy peaches anymore at the store because they taste like wood, or if they have any taste. Because I used to have a peach tree. I don't now, but I'm going to get one. We used to pick the peaches right off the tree when they were ripe, and oh man, that's the best way to eat them. Pears too. And actually, if you're canning stuff, the best way to can peaches and to get them to taste the best is you freezer can them. Oh my goodness, are them ever good? Don't try it with pears though. Oh, I did that once and they came out like shoe leather. It's like, no, I won't be doing pears again. I can my pears, but I like to do the peaches freezer can because boy, they're really good. If for those that don't know, freezer canning is just you take your syrup and stuff that you would normally put on them when you can them in a jar. If you use syrup, um, you put them in a heavier duty, like Ziploc bag or whatever you have where you're at, and you put your peaches in there without the pits and peelings. Of course, that's all gone. And you pour the syrup over just like you're canning them, and you put them in the freezer and freeze them. Once you try that, you won't eat them in a jar anymore. I'm telling you, they're really good. They taste like they were just picked. Not all fruit does that, but peaches are really good that way. How hot was it up there, Susan? Is yesterday it it was 90 at least here. Maybe even the heat index might have been higher. I don't know, but we have awful humidity too, and that's what gets you here is the humidity. Well, Michigan, we're surrounded by water, so we have a lot of humidity in the air. You probably do too, though. In Canada, it depends on probably where you're at. But I'm in northeast Michigan. 38 with the humidity. No, what's that? That's Celsius, ain't it? Yeah. I don't know what that would be in Fahrenheit. I don't have a thermometer right in front of me. Any place. We had some days last week. It was with the heat index and everything. It was 104 degrees Fahrenheit. That is hot with all the humidity and stuff. Oh my goodness, is that ever hot? But I get a break somewhat because my house is in the forest. Um, we have pretty much, I'm surrounded by pine trees, white pine and some, I don't know if it's Douglas fir or what it is, short needle ones anyway, and some spruce. Helps with keep the uh, temperature down a little bit, but it also it traps the humidity. Makes for a very muggy day. So, Buggy Girl, do you can a lot of stuff, or are you kind of like one of those? I guess you would say hobby canners. Some people do it like I used to do it. It's I canned everything I could get my hands on, and my pantry looks like a grocery store. But that was when my kids were younger, so I don't can as much now. But I'm planning on it because things are getting hard out there. So I want to can as much stuff as I can this summer. I've even canned fish. Used to make apple pie in a jar. Canned that. That was really good. Wish I could remember the recipe for that. I have it wrote down someplace. Susan, what are some of your hobbies and things that you like to do? I imagine up there in Canada and stuff, you would have. I think you guys have the snow longer than what we do, so you probably can do a lot of skiing and stuff up there. I've never actually skied before. I can fall on my rear. I can do that real good. I can't skate, but I can put a big crack in the ice. Oh, I just noticed something. Wait a second. Oh. Oh yeah, canned salmon is really good. You like cooking, Susan? What kind of cooking is your favorite? Like home type cooking, or are you, a chef, or you know, um, I guess you'd say a fancier type cook. You know what I mean? I mean, there's home cooks like us, and people that work in restaurants or like to cook fancy stuff. I went to school for it. I can do it, but it's just not my favorite. It's got well, I didn't really get to try it that much. The fancy stuff just in school. We couldn't afford that stuff at home. Yeah, Bucky Grill. I like to go up to Oscoda and stuff to go salmon fishing. I'm not real keen on the king salmon. The ones with the red flesh. I like the Chinook salmon better because they have a milder flavor. And where I go, they're huge. They're like 30 pounds a piece. And they got last time I went, they had a limit of 3 fish at a time, and you get the 3 fish. It's really hard to carry them up from the water because boy, are they heavy. But they have the Chinook salmon. I'm sure you probably know. They have a light, not a red flesh to them inside. It's more of a whitish type. It tastes like the other salmon, but it's just not red like that. I don't think it's as strong either as what the red salmon is, but I do eat red salmon. So I like the Chinook the best, but or pink salmon, I guess they call it. Salmon is salmon when you ain't got none. It's yum. I got one of those food saver things, and I used to fillet the salmon out and put it in there and in the food saver bags and vacuum seal it in there and then freeze it. And get that out and slap it on the grill. It's just like fresh salmon. Those food savers really do a nice job at keeping it nice and fresh tasting. Yeah. The only thing is, it's been a few years since, well, gosh, probably 6 years now since I went, and they raised the prices of licenses up and everything, and you don't want to get caught salmon fishing without a license. They kind of frown on that. Take you to the pokey. But I do mostly um, home type cooking, here. I can do the fancy stuff, but that's just not me. I know one of my friends on her channel, Homestead Tessie, she did one of my recipes on there. She really liked it. She did a video on it too. Hey, hi, Fireball Fanatic. Welcome to the channel. And to my like, I should have said chat instead of channel. Oh well. Oops. Fireball Fanatic, I could use a fireball up here. I live in the woods, and I need one with a brush hog on it and a really nice plow of some kind, snow plow. Did you, Lucky girl? Did you ever take and put uh, either zesty Italian or Italian dressing, marinate your salmon in that before you put it on the grill? Good stuff. It's good that way, and lots of lemon pepper too. Where are you at, Farmall Fanatic? I'm in Michigan. I'm in. Are you a collector of Farmall tractors, or just like them? Even if there was one around here that I could get for out here, I couldn't afford it anyway. My dad used to have one. I'm not sure. I think it was a Farmall. I was so little, I can't remember. It was red, but it had the crank thing out the front of it. You had to start it that way. He would never let me start it, he said, because if you don't do it right, you can break your arm. I'm like, oh, lovely. It probably was a Farmall, though. It was, it, oh, I don't think it was that big, but to me, when I was a kid, it looked like a big tractor. We used to use it for um, pulling stuff out, hauling logs through the woods to be cut up, not through the woods, but pulling them out of the woods to cut up firewood because we heated with wood. A lot of wood. That's what I did when I wasn't in school, doing other chores, cutting firewood or dragging trees through the woods. Made a lot of firewood and made a lot of sawdust. Wish I would have had chickens then. If you look at some of my videos on the page, you'll see that I did have chickens here. I had 15 of them that I raised from day one. And it was so funny. The neighbors used to comment, I've never seen anyone round up chickens before. It's just wherever I went in the yard, they followed me. They didn't go out of the yard or anything. And we're not fenced in here. We're just in the woods. But boy, I'll tell you, with the chickens around, I didn't have June bug problems. I didn't have spiders. It's like, I miss my chickens. Oh, I see. This is on top chat. It's supposed to be on live chat. There we go. Sorry if I didn't respond to your chat right away. I had the chat setting in the wrong type. Now I'm not seeing anybody's chats. Oh, there they come. Salmon is good stuff. I appreciate you stopping, Farm Off Fanatic. I appreciate it. Think about subscribing to the channel and hit the like button. It helps me out. Hold on, everybody. I got to step out for a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to run out, had to wait on my doggie. She's right here with me. She probably won't stand up here. We'll stand up here so you can see it. Everybody can see you. Try to turn my camera down. Can you see her here? This is Daisy. She won't get in the camera right. And I got ink spot in here too. Cat. Hi there, Redneck Connection. Thanks for stopping in. I had to take care of doggy business. So, what do you like to do, Redneck Connection? We were talking about canning and cooking and salmon fishing and all that. Lucky girl's cooking. Her and her husband are cooking one on the grill right now. I think I am Redneck Connection. I have to write that down because I know I won't remember. On Saturday, do you have a certain time Saturday that you do yours? Oh, Ken Steiner? Yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, I have been on yours before. 6 p.m. your time. I forgot where you're at, though. Are you northeast like I am, or are you down in a different time zone? Redneck Connection, sorry, I didn't say your name. Same time zone as me then, huh? For some reason, I thought you were down. Well, that is kind of south, but not really. I thought you were down like Missouri or something like that for some reason. Okay, it's 11:16 here. Well, I imagine I'll get a notification that you're doing one or something. Yeah, Ohio should be the same as me. I'm not sure how far you go before it switches. That's a spot back there on the bed. He's all black, but he's got right here on his chest, he's got a white dot. So we call him Ink Spot. That's what my wife named him. He's no little cat. He's about 25 pounds. Or so's his brother. Come on up here so people can see you. Come on. Come on, Ink Spot. Come on. I can't try to pick you up. I'm going to fall on my head probably trying to get you off the floor. There you go. See, there he is. See his white spot there? He's a good kitty. Well, if I'm still up, I'll check it out. I'm usually up. Well, as you know, Ken, we talked pretty late one night. It was really late my time. I've never got a notification for you. Of course, I wouldn't have been watching for the redneck connection either, so I wouldn't have known it was you. So did you take down the other one, the Ken Steiner one, and just do this now, or do you still have both of them? Okay, I'll watch for it. Got 5 cats and 1 dog. You hear noise in the background, it's just my air conditioner. I will do that, Ken, now that I know that it's you. Is it hot down there, Bucky Grill, in Ohio, or is it cool down there too? Because I know today it was only like around 80, 82, something like that. It wasn't too hot. But yesterday, that was a different story. We had us a downpour. Of course, it's been raining for the last few days, and my power was off for a day and a half. It seemed like 1,000 years because it was really hot when it went off. Don't mind me teetering, people. I'm not crazy. I'm sitting in a rocking chair. My desk chair leans and rocks. I can't stand to sit still. If anybody else wants to plug any other channels on here, go for it. I don't care. A lot of people don't allow that, but it's not a competition. I don't care. Everybody's out looking for views and stuff. Channels that might be good. I'd like to know too, because half the stuff on TV ain't fit to watch anymore. So I spend a lot of time watching videos on YouTube. But Ken, I will check out your videos. I promise I will. I always do what I say I'll do. Hey, no, that's okay. I don't care if you plug away. Well, that sounded nasty, didn't it? Oh well, we know what it meant. Some people have conniption fits about that, but I don't. Yeah. Anybody can plug anybody's channel on here. I don't care. We're all in this together, as Red Green would say. So, what's the weather like with there where you're at? I think you're the only one I know, kid. Yep, I watch Papa all the time. Been watching him for a long time. And, well, he's plugged my channel on his channel before too. He's a very good person. Sometimes his language is a little bit out there, but that's about though. Oh, 84 and raining. That means it's probably 94 or 104 with the humidity, right? Yep. That's a good guy. I think he helps out quite a few people. I know what he I love what he does with the children and stuff playing Santa. Of course, if I looked like him, I probably would try to pull it off too. He looks like Santa. I don't talk that way. I mean, I cuss once in a while, but I'm not. Every other word has speed. You know, I get on my kids for that, and I sure don't do it on videos and stuff because I want to keep it so everyone can watch it and not, just certain people. So it looks like someone else came on now. Yes, that one night it was so late there. I was on your stream. Yes, I do. You weren't vulgar on there when I was on that night. I try to make it around to visit everybody who visits me if I can, but I do have to sleep sometime. Hey, Garden City Food Forest, how you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing and smash that like button. It helps me out a lot. And check out some of my other videos. I'm probably the most boring person you could ever meet, but oh well, I try. I thought I saw your name before, Garden City Food Forest. Thanks for subbing. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thanks, Food Forest, or Garden City Food Forest. Oh, yep, I love the hummingbirds too. I love them. They're right in my kitchen window. It's like when I do that little video there, I had to stand back further than what I normally do because they were kind of afraid of the camera, I think. Because normally I can get right up, I mean, inches from them. Oh, yes, that's right. I remember that now, Garden City. Yep. I live in the woods, so you never know what you're going to see. I wish I would have had my dash cam on the other day. I had it was full grown, but I had a big old bobcat almost came home with me stuck in my grill. So it was beautiful. Ran out in front of me on the road. I was doing like 55 at the time, so it would have been kind of a messy situation there. But I have a dash cam, but I didn't have the darn thing on, or else I could have made a video of that too. 'Cause we have bear up here and cougar, of course, deer and turkey. Everybody's got those, coons and everything. But I live in the woods, so you never know. I look out the window and there could be who knows what in my yard. I've walked out before and was that close to a doe standing in my yard. We looked at each other like deer in the headlights, you know. It froze. I froze. We're staring at each other, trying to figure out who's going to move first. And of course, my wife is in the house and she wants to see all that stuff, but she's pretty much disabled. She can't get up and get around too good. So I knew if I yelled, it was going to run. Or if I took off and tried to go in to get her to see it, it was going to run too. I tried. I come in and I tried to tell her, but it was gone. But I almost painted something a different color. You don't expect to get that close to one. And one day I was out burning leaves in the yard, and this doe come. She walked right up to me, and I had, uh, them shirt jacket things. I had a red plaid one on. You think she could have seen me standing there? I was standing right next to the fire, and my parents live right across the road from me. So I called my mom. I said, "Hey, you see this deer over here?" She couldn't see it. There's too many trees in the way. But that was pretty exciting too. They say they're attracted to the smell of smoke and stuff. And I had, I think, 7 or 8 piles of leaves burning that day, so there was a lot of smoke. Yeah, yeah, it was almost brown paint. Scared the daylights out of me. Yeah, that's one of the things my uncle used to do, and my dad too, sitting in the woods deer hunting, is they'd light a fire where they were sitting. The deer would smell the smoke and they would come to check it out. They'll circle around you a distance away, but they try to find out, where it's at. There must be something to it because my dad shot like I think 42 deer, something like that. He's a lot of them. I can miss a lot of them. Last time I went with my son, uh, He come walking up to my blind, and we were sitting there talking. These two does came out. I shot 3 times, and they were, let's say, maybe 75 foot from the blind. I mean, bad. Oh, I shot one. The damn thing stood there. So I shot the other one. Thought I did. And then they walked over just 4 or 5 steps, and they both laid down. I said, "Oh God, I got both of them. Oh no." So I brought the gun up again, and I got it on them. I thought I did. All I accomplished was I blew the crap out of a tree. Because right when I decided that I was going to shoot, they decided to get up and move. Well, I let one go, and it hit the tree. Altogether, 3 shots that day. And I've never missed anything in my life. If I shot it, it went down. But not that day. My son, he's in the blind. He's practically dying. He's laughing so hard. But I said, I hit it, I hit it. I saw something white go flying. I thought it was hair. Dad, you blew up the tree. Oh, well, a tree that was once there is no longer there. It blew it to smithereens. Yes, it was. Red light, green light. Yeah. Yeah. I did redneck connection there. I half expect one of these days to go out there and because the DNR has planted bear around here, and we have them anyway, and cougars and stuff. It's nothing to run into turkey in my yard, 20, 30 of them at a time, but I want to. I'd love to see a bear up close, but I want it between a wall or something between us when it first happens. I don't want to walk out into one. Like, holy smokes. I would paint and paint and paint. I'd color the barn a different color. I'm not afraid of them. It's just when you walk out and you're not expecting that. I don't remember what I was doing that day. I can't remember. Probably doing something in the shed or something, and I come in to get a house to get something. They probably did. And we got coyote like crazy too. Yep. Well, I live on Bear Creek Road, so. And it was named that because there's a little creek behind the house, which is one of my videos. It's called Bear Creek. They named the road after that and the subdivision. I wouldn't mind seeing a bear. I just want to be in control of the situation when I see it. I'd love a bearskin rug too. I don't think I'd use it as a floor rug. It would be probably back there on my wall under my velvet deer painting there. And out here, if you called the police and you saw a coyote, they would give up on you and stop coming because they're here all the time. It's like in this area, there's a lot of them. We don't really hear them too much though, unless like there's a wounded deer or something like that, where they're having a feast, then they carry on, make all kinds of noise. Yeah, we're supposed to have wolves up here too, Garden City, but never seen one. Come up to bear country? Uh, I got that right here. Are you sure that it wasn't a wolf, Garden City? It could have been. Was it a big one? Because I know up here the coyotes are a lot bigger than what they show on TV and stuff. Maybe it was a wolf. Did it look like it had big feet when it was walking and stuff? Because they have big pads on their feet. And they usually look really, when they're trotting and stuff. Maybe it was a wolf then. You'll find out if you got cats or anything out there. They're desperate. They'll take care of anything that moves. Even you if you're not careful. But if you see a wolf, you see one wolf in your yard, he's not alone. They don't travel alone. He might be just the decoy. And for every wolf you see, there's probably 10, 12 more that you don't. They're very good at stealth. I hate to say it, but Garden City, that's probably where your dog went. Did he ever come back, or is it just totally gone forever? There is one dog, or a couple of them, big breeds of dog that can take out a wolf, but they got to be something else. Oh, sorry, man. I'd hate to lose my dog too. Do you live in the woods or something, or did they come in like the city? Because I know they will, but they're not. It's kind of rare. Okay, thanks for that connection for stopping in. I appreciate it. Or Ken. I will stop out to your channel and check out your stuff too. And I really appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, Redneck. Huh. Are you in an area where there's a lot of wolves? Because usually when wolves are around, you'll hear them howling and stuff. Uh, there's a lot of game for them to hunt and stuff up there. They probably won't bother you, but it's when game gets in short supply for them that they'll start coming in, making contacts of you know with humans. Well, if you've heard howling, they're not too far away. Make sure you don't, if you got cats and stuff or small dogs or, chickens or that they're not out at night. Well, really with wolves it don't matter, but they're more apt to try sneaking them at night. Oh, if they're developing the land and clearing the woods, that could kick them out too. They're losing their territory. I know up north, up by the Mackinac Bridge where my aunt lives, she's been walking to the mailbox before, and they live in the country, and turned around. One of her neighbors hollered at her, and she turned around and he hollered because there was a wolf following her up the road, and she didn't know it. Yeah, if they're being forced out and stuff, they don't know what to do. They're gonna run crazy. Sorry about your dog, though. That's terrible. Yeah, they are, and they'll have one that's kind of like the decoy to or bait. They want you to run, and they will chase you. And the ones you don't see, they will encircle you, and you'll be lunch. So I know with bear and stuff up here, everybody tells you, don't run from them because if you run, they'll chase you. But if you stand there, a lot of times they back down unless they got a cub or something. I know that's what my grandfather always told me. He says if you run into a bear, just slowly walk away. Don't, scream and yell or anything like that. Attract attention to yourself. Just slowly walking out of there and leave. And I know that to be true because we saw a bear one time when we were picking pickles in a pickle field. And I got my sisters. We were all working together and we went home. My dad took me out there later on the motorcycle because he didn't believe us. And he saw the bear tracks for himself. We were afraid the bear followed us home because I took my sisters. We walked almost 2 miles home. Yeah, that's what they say. Those cougars, they will attack humans, but again, I think that might be more because they can't find food or something. What movie was that you saw? Because I like him too. I wouldn't mind seeing that movie. And I guess that's the main thing with wild animals is if you act like you're afraid of them, they sense your fear. Okay, because I wouldn't mind watching that movie. Is it about wolves or something? Okay. Alaskan men plane crashed into the woods. Hmm. It's called The Gray. I will check that out. I like a good movie. My dog just came in. I don't like a lot of the movies and stuff that are on TV anymore, or the shows, because of they're all filled with violence or sex or drugs or you name it, it's on there. Yeah, you know, if I saw a wolf on my property, there might be regulations and stuff like that, but I know because I had a farm with chickens and stuff, and any person that has a farm is going to defend it. It's like I'd shoot it because it's like a bear. If they come in and they find food once, they come back again and again and again. It probably is. Yep. Out here, nobody out here where I live is without a gun. Most people have several. The only thing I don't have is I don't have a pistol, but I want one. Just carry with me when I go out to the mailbox and stuff, or when I go walking through the woods and stuff, in case something does show up. And I don't just shoot things to shoot things. It's like if it threatened me or something, then it go down. I am a hunter, but I don't I don't hunt unless I need it. If I need the food and stuff, then I hunt. But I don't see the purpose in just killing something to kill it and put it in the freezer and end up a few years or months down the road end up throwing it out because all the meat's all freezer burnt and stuff. Like you didn't need to kill that thing in the first place. It's like if you need it, that's one thing. If you don't, that's a whole other story. I don't believe in killing for no reason. I love to fish too. Oh yes, a lot more dangerous. Coyotes can only carry out and kill. They love house cats. Um, Little dogs, little tiny dogs. Um, Unless they're in a group. If they usually do travel in packs. But usually, what I noticed is like if a hunter shoots a deer and the thing doesn't die all the way and they lose it, it runs off somewhere and they can't find it. That night there will be a fiesta going on in the woods, and you can hear it for miles when they're devouring that deer. But uh, most of the time, it's going to be chickens, cats, dogs, small dogs, things like that they can carry off, rabbits, whatever. If they're desperate, I imagine they'll try anything. But a lot of people told me too that possums will kill your chickens and stuff. That ain't true. They gotta have a way in there, but well, I have a family of possums that hang around here, and I had 15 chickens for over over 5 years, close to 6 years. Never lost one to an opossum. Their opossums' main food is grubs and ticks. It's like they want grubs, they want ticks, they can have them. I don't want them. They would go around my chicken coop where I threw out the food and stuff for the chickens during the day. Whatever the chickens didn't eat, the possum would go around there at night getting corn and stuff like that. And they would eat that, but they never once tried to get into my chickens. And everybody says, "Oh, you see a possum up there, you gotta shoot it because they'll kill your chickens." No, never had trouble with them doing that. Now the one that will is a coon, a raccoon. They will raise heck. I mean, I imagine a possum could if they wanted to, but I never seen them. And a possum, well, they could be, and they're a ferret is more like a weasel. Possum is a whole bunch of nastiness in a ball. They like to play dead and hang from trees and all that stuff by their tail. That's what they say. But the ones I have out here in the yard, I can walk right up there in the yard and not scare them off. They'll stay right there. Hi, Tony Stark. How you doing? Me and Garden City Food Forest are chatting about wolves and stuff like that, coyotes and possums. Possums do have a nasty set of teeth. They're kind of. You should. You probably got them up there in Canada, Garden City, don't you? They're they're pretty much nocturnal, so they're going to be out at night mostly. Oh, you're in Seattle. I thought for some reason that you said you were in Canada, or is there a Seattle in Canada too? I don't know. Yeah, they are ugly. Oh, you're okay. So you'd be in Washington then? I have a cousin that lives in Tacoma, Washington. So what is? Bring me up to date on what the. Oh, it is Washington. Okay. What is a food forest? Is that what you do? I'm not trying to make fun of you or nothing like that. I'm trying to understand what it is because I know there's I don't know what it is either, but there's people that do the permaculture and stuff like that. I have no idea what that is. So I imagine you would get like really organic, well, probably fruits and vegetables. Oh wow, produce. Ooh, I love fruit. You can always throw some my way. I want to get me a. Um, they'd have to be dwarf size so that I can handle it, take care of it. But delicious, red delicious apples, golden delicious apples, and pears and peaches. I've heard some about Back to Eden, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, I like the dwarf size because then I can get to them, step ladder or extension ladder. But the really big ones, some of them trees get out of control and they get way up there so high I can't get up there to trim them up or nothing. They end up going crazy and not producing much fruit either. And I want some that I can just go out and pick them, not have to haul out the heavy equipment just to get a peach or an apple off the tree. I mean, I might be considered back to Eden because my property is covered with leaves all the time, and them leaves are can't see it, but about 2 foot deep, and it's oh, I like all that stuff you mentioned there. My dirt is pretty much uh, sand here, so I can't grow a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think we got kind of a acidic type soil because my property is covered with pine trees and poplar trees. I'm in northeast Michigan. And my property is so densely populated with trees. It's like with pine trees and that. I have maple too, but it's mostly poplar and um, several different kinds of pine. And wild cherry, not cherry, what do they call those things? They get little purple berries on them and by the thousands. Drops them all over my yard. The raccoons really love them. Somebody told me there was some kind of cherry tree, but not the kind that you eat because they're too small. They're these little tiny things. They're about the size of a wild blueberry. Yeah, there is a gardening place that's in Michigan. He has a channel too, and I watch it. Am I Gardner? He's in Michigan. Backyard Gardner, I'm not sure. Yeah, it does get cold here. I mean, if I could get a tree planted, some fruit trees and stuff, they might take off, but I'd have to cut out a lot of the pines just to get sunlight through because I don't know if the fruit would even ripen because it's so thick and the sunspots in my yard. You can go look up and you can't see the sky. So I have no idea what zone we are. I'm okay. This is Michigan. I'm right about up in here or so. Yeah, I do. I have a lot of shade, but that can be remedied. You know, if I got the trees, I would take some other trees out. You can see if you watch my other videos. You can see the Bear Creek ones. That some of the videos I did right here in my yard, so you can see how the trees are here and stuff. If you look on a GPS for my house, you can't even see the house. All you see is a driveway. You might see part of my car and then trees. And my house is underneath all that. Probably, I don't know what the zoning is, here as far as agriculture, what zone we're in. Well, let's see. This little thing says, like pears come in here, they come in August through September. And peaches would be July through September. Let's see, what's the other ones? Cherries would be July through the end of August. So that's about, kind of what we have here. I have a planting chart here, but it doesn't say what the zone is. No, it doesn't say anything about what zone we're in. Okay, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Look me up again. We can talk on my page too. Check out some of the videos. I'm going to get going too. Bye now, and thank you all for coming, and have a blessed day. Bye now.